Ladies and gentlemen, here we have the novel coronavirus, one of the various database maps that we have. At the bottom right, you can see is 10 days after the World Health Organization declared this pandemic. 10 days. So, on this particular in this particular map, what I like to look at particularly is the cases by data reports. It's just going up and up, and I am really freaking concerned about that. Except for this day. It's like coronavirus is like, nah, we're just going to take a day off. It's not that these guys didn't have the information. It's just coronavirus is like, yeah, it's like a Sunday or whatever. It's our Sunday. We'll just take this time off. One of the growing concerns right now is that the United States is getting bigger and bigger. Canada isn't Canada isn't doing too well. It is Saturday. Last Friday, not sorry, two last Fridays ago, we had 133 people identified here in Canada. So let's go over to the interactive map by Go Kokan. And once again, you'll see the U.S. confirmed is up. I don't know how frequently he updates these because the information here doesn't always agree with information from other places. But man, the situation here is exploding. Let's face it. We have the USA is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. That's not too good. Of course, China is almost completely recovered. Of course, I don't believe that. I think one of the big things we have to worry about is this thing evolving one more time. So something that happened in 1918 is they believe that the coronavirus, well, not the coronavirus, they knew that the pandemic that happened had evolved and came back. A lot of people think that it was from the mustard gas because mustard gas is known to warp things on I don't have the right term, but let's say a subatomic level on a gene basis. They think that mustard gas mutated the virus, and it's possible that'll happen again. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of news organizations that knows China say that China is going to hide anything new that happens, and then they're going to say they have everything clean, and then they're going to blame a second wave on outsiders. I do not trust China. I don't think anyone should. Italy, Spain, man, some pretty dark videos coming out of those places, unfortunately. And man, just we got to keep trying, guys. This is the reason that we got to keep trying. We got to isolate ourselves. We got to stay away from each other. Anyways, this is the other one, worldmeters.info, and they seem to say that the USA has more total cases. They're definitely climbing in the total cases that are happening, and this is getting a little bit chaotic. A lot of us are concerned about people in the States because of the horrible healthcare situations and the American fuck yeah kind of mentality that I see so many of them having. Not all of them, naturally, not all of them. What I was really interested to see is that the New York is pretty high up there. Washington, California. I knew New York and California would be up there. I thought Florida was going to be a lot higher up there because, come on, it's Florida, right? Anyways, confirmed coronavirus cases are growing faster in in the United States and any other part of the world. That's what's going on now. It's becoming evident that the United States is not in a good place. So isolate yourself. We're all in this together. If I catch you outside, I will eat your effing knees. That's right, Mr. Duck. That's you, Canadian goose. I wonder if these things were protected in like the last 20 years or something. Because when I was a kid, these things weren't as menacing. Seemed to have some fear of people, but not so much anymore. This is something I don't like. Coronavirus can last on surfaces for days, experts are saying. And this is actually from Global News, which sucks because they're a relevant place that doesn't tend to try to scare people. The study, however, is exhausted, and the author at this point, there are a range of other factors. Where is it? Where is it? They say. It's right down here. Well, they were saying up to 3 days. It can be on a surface for up to 3 days, but I think it depends on what kind of surface they're on. Anyways, this is from Waterloo. Parents are ignoring playground closure rules. This guy's saying no kids should be on the playground. And I totally understand where he's coming from, but as a parent, I gotta say, sometimes you just can't keep your kids locked in all day. And I might get some heat for that, but it's difficult. It's really difficult. And we're trying really hard to keep our kids off the playground, but especially after that last thing, yeah, I guess you should if you, especially if it can stay on surfaces like forever, right? But man, it can be hard to keep a kid inside. I feel really bad for these people who have like 5 kids and they can only buy one roll of toilet paper. You poor guys. Why did you have that many kids to begin with? Seriously. Anyways, here we have the scumbag of the day. Look at all that toilet paper. I'm sure they need all of that for themselves, and nobody else could possibly need that. Why would a store sell all of this to one individual? Why would they do that? He doesn't even seem like he has the room in his car for all of those. This guy's either going to be flipping this stuff, or it's just, man, you're not. You're bad people. You're bad people. You're just sick and disgusting people. I mean, really, you could. I really hope that you're picking up for an old age home or something. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to take back what I just said, and I'm going to say these guys are picking up for an old age home. But really, folks, don't be like these people. Anyways, continuing on, I've been watching the news from all parts of Canada and seeing what the conversation was like. Now, over in Alberta, everyone's conservative. It's hilarious if you look at the map to see how many people are conservative versus liberals. Okay, so in Canada, the Conservative Party are like basically the ones who like Trump, right? Anyways, over in Alberta, all they're talking about is helping the oil industry, which is already devastated by the fact that there's some kind of fight going on between the Middle East and Russia, and it's not even a fight versus countries; it's a fight versus like corporations and production. And in Alberta, they're like, yeah, we're going to help the corporations, screw the end users, screw the people at the end. And at the same time, over in Alberta, they have already cut an alarming number of jobs for nurses and whatnot. Starbucks is closing, and locations, yeah, closing most locations because of the virus. I guess you really should do that. But man, coffee's a drug, right? If you get some people who don't get their coffee, they are messed up. Federal Reserve to lend an additional 1 trillion a day to large banks. To large banks, they're really dumping money into this stuff. They're really dumping money into this stuff. What can I say? The COVID-19. Here's a little video showing us the rise of COVID-19 versus people joining the COVID-19 Reddit. And I know a lot of people are just going to go out and be like, oh, well, we're sensationalizing this more than we actually have to. Reddit is just a big sensationalism, and there shouldn't be news on Facebook and stuff like that. You know what? After a certain point, the stats just speak for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a shitty situation. We've had to deal with what versus the people from what they call the greatest generation. We didn't have to fight in World War One. We didn't have to fight in World War Two. We didn't have to go through civil war. We didn't have to worry about a communist takeover that at first looks excellent until we find out the people running it are just full of it and end up killing most of it, and we all get sent off to gulags. Ladies and gentlemen, shit happens, and who you gonna call? Seriously, this is one of those situations where, yeah, a lot of us are being a little bit scared, but you know what? The people who are going out and being scared and buying this toilet paper and buying everything are not the same people that are spending time on our coronavirus. If I keep calling this controvirus, I am so sorry. That's just what I do. But it is important to stay informed, ladies and gentlemen. And if you go to the coronavirus Reddit, you will find that it is a good place. And I'm not sad that there are so many people on our coronavirus. I am happy there are, because there's a lot of accurate information there, and there's a lot of ignorance that we have to fight, and we fight ignorance with information, or at least I like to think we do. I just get so sick of people that are like, humanity is the worst thing on earth, and we, if we weren't here, everything would be great, and animals wouldn't eat each other, and animals wouldn't fight, and everything would be perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, look up the ape war. Look up the ape war. Animals go to war with each other, and life is freaking hard and dark for other people than us. But you want to know what? By getting together and by doing things, we can spring from this quagmire of chaos and negativity, and we can put our feet firmly on the ground of hope and a brighter future, because that's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Quebec City police arrest COVID-19 patient for defying quarantine. Yeah, it would be a lady. It was a lady. She wouldn't go into quarantine, so now she's locked down. Now, this was yesterday. Once again, everything's changing very quickly. Everything's changing very quickly, and This is probably one of the last times someone's going to do something like this. So, what do they call them? EB Games has been in the news lately for staying open, even though we have a pandemic going on. And in other news, they said, we have to stay open because we're an essential service. You're not an essential service. Don't be like that. Anyways, here is the lineup. Downtown Toronto. This is about a day or two ago. Everybody, well, they're only letting people in if they have a pass, but there are two games that are out right now. What are the games? Is Doom and Animal Crossing. Because of that, everyone was on the streets waiting during a frickin' pandemic. These are a lot of stupid people here, I gotta tell you, Sal. They should be inside. They're not on quarantine. They're just being selfish idiots who shouldn't be here. And it looks like that's the EB game lady there, trying to get everyone to spread out a little bit. Now, every EB games has three things: one the owner, one the friend of an owner, and one a pretty good looking chick. They like to have their girls there because it's harder to be angry at a chick because maybe she won't show you her boobs or something. I don't know how men work. Okay, this is stupid. I totally agree. Men are stupid, but there are some men that's like, if you get a good looking girl in front of them, they're just like, you have boobs. If I'm nice to you, maybe I could touch them. Something like that. Like I tell you what, Bob. I think I've been like that. She's like, no, go away. Okay, this chick right here. I'm not gonna put the audio on, but she's like, I have to be extra careful because I live with my grandparents. You have to not be out there, lady. You have to not be out there. I bet that chick was buying Doom. Now, here's a bit of a dark picture from over in Italy to show you what we are fighting, what we are staying inside to avoid. Italy calls in military to enforce corona. Oh, wait, I got it right that time. Coronavirus lockdown is 627 people die in 24 hours. They've had to get the military help to deal with all the dead bodies that they've had. And I haven't heard of that since I heard of stories of Spanish influenza. Spanish influenza killed 50 million people. That is more people that have died in the U.S. Army for any war from World War I on to the Afghan-Iraq wars. This is an awesome person from Ontario. Yes, I got back to Canada, and yes, I was in an airport. No, I don't feel any symptoms, that I'm not going to limit myself from walking outside or talking to human beings. Man, I wish that they would leave the names out for these individuals. Seriously. So I wish I knew who this individual was. I'm not saying I'd do anything. Proof that millennials are not hoarding because they still got the avocados out there. I tell you what, Bobby. Sometimes I wonder if that's true. Sometimes I wonder if it's true. Okay, I'm going to show you one thing that's really shocking, and I'm going to show you something that's not so shocking. Kind of gives me hope. This is in Tennessee. This is, I believe, this is in the basement of. Oh, what the heck is it? I think this is in a parking lot basement somewhere. They are setting up beds to get ready for this, and it's not even a hospital. It's just some basement somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, these beds are going to be full, and we're going to have things to fight against. This isn't conspiracy theory. This isn't somebody being a whack job. If you don't see the approaching hoofbeats, more or less, then you're frickin' blind, and you got to deal with the fact that sometimes shit happens, and who you going to call. Now, I'm going to show you something that will be a positive end of this. Smallpox. Smallpox make people look like zombies. Give them boils on the outside and stuff on the inside that hurts just as much as the stuff on the inside. Now look at this. Smallpox definition. Smallpox was an infectious disease caused by one of two virus variants. Was. Ladies and gentlemen, we mopped the floor with smallpox. Ladies and gentlemen, we wiped it off the face of the earth. It is gone. If it comes back, it's going to have evolved from nothing again because this stuff is gone and it has not resurfaced. Ladies and gentlemen, it went through so many people. There's so much of a history with it. A blight, a long range blight. And look at this poor kid. If this poor kid survived, 73, we even did this just recently. Did this just recently. If we can do this to smallpox, ladies and gentlemen, we will pull through. We are going to make the coronavirus our bitch. And we are going to beat it down. It's not a question of if, it's a matter of time. This is like a World War flu, and we will get through it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get through this. But we got to We need to be intelligent, and we need to be good so that our old folks are going to be okay. And even if it doesn't matter if it's our old folks, what if you knew that this was going to affect a kid down the street who had a bad immune system? Because there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people like that. And some people hardly even get a feeling of anything when they have this, and some people are freaking killed. So we have to be strong. We got to work together, folks. We can do this. We can do this. Anyways, that's it for me for this round. Hopefully next round's going to be a lot better, but I don't think it is. And we got to prepare for it. It's always darkest before the dawn, right, ladies and gentlemen? Anyways, take care of each other. Seriously, take care of each other. And I'll catch you guys later.